Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, class. For today, we are going to talk about treble clef or the G clef. So for today's lessons, we have only one learning objectives, which is learn the concepts of treble clef or G clef. So the question is, what is the treble clef? The treble clef is tool musicians use to notate pitches above middle C on the piano. So, yung treble clef daw ay isang tool na ginagamit ng mga musicians para i-notate yung pitches na nasa taas at middle ng taas ng middle C on the piano. The treble clef is also known as G clef because it describes the location of G, specifically the G above middle C or G4. So, we learn treble clef so we know how to read sheet music faster and easier. So, pinapag-aralan natin yung G clef para malaman natin kung paano magbasa ng music sheets ng mabilisan at madalian. So, treble clef also known as G clef. Yung treble clef ay tinatawag din siyang G clef. So, it's primarily used to notate melodies and chords that are intended to be played with the right hand. So, yung treble clef is ginagamit siya para matukoy yung mga melodies and chords na intended i-play gamit ang ating kanang kamay. So, think of the treble clef staff as a sort of musical compass that help us orient ourselves on the musical stuff. So, yung treble clef daw is para siyang musical compass na nag-orient sa atin para matukoy natin yung musical stuff. So, without the treble clef, kung wala ang treble clef, we would have a difficult time reading the notes in the octaves above middle C on the piano. Kung wala daw yung treble clef, mahihirapan tayo kung paano basahin yung mga notes o yung mga nota na nasa octave above ng middle C sa piano. So, what does treble clef look like? So, ano ba yung So what does treble clef look like? Treble clef resembles a Gothic letter G. Yung treble clef daw ay para siyang Gothic letter G. When we say Gothic old, it is drawn around the second line of the stave. It looks like this. As you can see here on our screen, we have these notes, and this is what we call the treble clef or the G clef. So as you can see, it resembles like a Gothic letter G, diba? Like an old letter G. So, treble clef are primarily used on the following instruments. So, treble clef is used for high-sounding instruments. So, yung treble clef is ginagamit siya para sa mga instrumento na may mataas na sound. Gagaya ng violin, guitar, mandolin, flute, oboe, English horn, clarinet, saxophone, horn, and trumpet. The upper staff of keyboard instruments also use treble clef. So, treble clef is useful tool for reading and writing music. So, yung treble clef daw is useful siya para sa pagbasa at pagsulat ng music. We also call treble clef G clef because it locates the pitch G4 on the second line of the staff. So, tinatawag din yung treble clef as G clef because tinuturo niya sa atin kung paano matagpuan yung pitch G4 sa second line of the staff. The more you learn treble clef, the greater your understanding of music will become. So, the more you discover or develop your knowledge on this kind of notes, the greater your understanding of music will become. Mas tataas or mas dadami pa yung kaalaman mo tungkol sa music. So that would be all. So for our enrichment activity class, I am going to show you a video. This is the treble clef, stave, and pitch by Riam Teaching and Learning Networks. Okay, very good. So let's assume that the video showing are done. So for the generalizations, I will be asking questions to the students. So I have here a 6 questions that may or may not assess the students' knowledge and understandings of the lessons discussed. So, what is our lesson today, class? Very good, treble clef or the G clef. Why should we learn treble clef? Very good. Treble clef is also called what? What does treble clef resembles? What are the instruments that primarily use treble clef? So why do we need to learn treble clef? Very good. So let's assume that students successfully answered all the questions, thus fulfilling and satisfying our objectives for the lesson for today. So for the evaluations, I have here an activity that says, in your activity or drawing notes, draw the treble clef and answer the given questions after. So question number 1, the only answer that we have is, why do we need to learn treble clef? I will only give you 5 minutes to answer the given questions and 5 minutes to draw the given notes. That would be all, and thank you.